opinions and experiences shared in this podcast are just that, our personal opinions and experiences, and may not reflect official standards of practice. This podcast does not take the place of professional therapy. If you are struggling with mental health, please reach out to a provider near you. The subjects discussed in this podcast may include trauma, abuse, alcohol and drug abuse, anxiety, depression, suicide, and other subjects that may cause emotional reactions. We may also use language not suitable for young ears. The purpose of this podcast is to have frank discussions about mental health in order to show people it's okay to think differently, give people power to change their own lives, and break down barriers between mental health professionals and the rest of the world. Thanks for listening. Welcome back, guys. My name is Melissa. I'm your host. I'm a mental health therapist, and I am 28. And with me today is...
I'm Wallace. I'm 26 years old. I'm a future sailor in the U.S. Navy and recently a graphic designer.
And I'm Matt. I'm a U.S. Marine Corps veteran. Did 5 years. Combat deployed. Father of 3.
Yeah. So Matt is married with children, and Wally is...
a bachelor still.
Bachelor status. Yeah. All right. And you guys have, if you've been watching, you've met my husband, so I'm married. And one on the way. We haven't really announced that yet, but yeah. So today we're talking about men's issues. So we have two lovely men here to talk about it. And we're just going to kind of go through what it is that men experience in context of like stereotypes, with dating, with parenting, feelings, friendship, all that kind of good stuff. So I probably won't do much talking because, I'm not a man.
No. You have all the experience, though, to help. Oh, let's guide the conversation this way.
Yeah. So whoever wants to start, I guess we can start with, we'll start with one that both of you guys have, is friendships. What do you guys think is expected of men in friendships, and what is it really like?
Okay, well, like all the stereotypes for dudes' friendships is, okay, we're going to get together, we're going to talk about either cars or chicks, and that's going to be about it. We might talk about video games, and I think I've talked about sex once with my current friends, and that was about a half a second conversation. I've never talked about cars. And we do talk about video games a lot because we're both pretty nerdy.
Yeah, I mean, the stereotype is that men talk about the things men like, whereas I think men who hang around each other want to talk about their mutual interests and just the things that are on their mind. So dads that get together are likely to talk about their children, what their children are going through, how they handle problems or positive behavior of their children together. Whereas, like, that's not something that people expect men to do, is kind of talk about that kind of stuff with their friends. Yeah, well, I mean, the stereotype is that dads are not the active parent, that they don't concern themselves with behavior stuff or developmental stuff. I think that's a very prominent stereotype.
Yeah, that's one of the ones that bugs the hell out of me, because everyone's like, okay, well, if you and your wife split, it's obviously going to the wife's. Okay, hold up now. Let's talk about this. I know that I can handle my kids on my own because my wife has anxiety issues. Mm-hmm. And so a lot of the time she needs to just get out of the house, and she'll be gone for most of the weekend, and it's fine because usually when I'm not broken, I'm at work all week for, about 60 hours, Monday through Friday. And so Saturday, Sunday, after working all week, I'm also mom and dad for most of the weekend. It's like I got help at the end of the day, right when it's time to put kids to bed, and a lot of time early morning, right whenever they get up. Outside of that, my wife usually heads out and hangs out with her friends and takes some mom time. Mm-hmm. It's like, okay, so I'm work, come home, be both parents. And it's, oh yeah, no, dads can't take a I think it comes
role. From years of the country, our society kind of trying to do its best to provide for children who are in tough situations. So, like, let's take, like, the 80s and 90s when it was pretty prevalent that, like, fathers weren't super involved. Now, in our kind of age group, I feel like that's totally different, but we're still feeling some of those stereotypes and stigmas coming into it.
Well, and that, I think, mostly has to do with the fact that women were staying home more. Yeah. And so it was just, like, that dichotomy of responsibility. Like, dad goes to work and makes the money and does the things, and mom is with the kids.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And we just don't have that anymore.
Yeah, I mean, those boundaries, our generation is completely, like, not wanting to abide by those. If you want to, that's fine, but, like, those aren't set in stone so firmly as they used to be.
Yeah, our
Well, also
generation's freaking weird, man.
Yeah, but I mean, the ability to live on a single income household is very difficult.
Yeah.
These days.
And that's, I guess, leads into the other part of like parenting is how do you deal with some stay-at-home dads? Like I have friends that are stay-at-home dads and they love it, and it's just they happen to find themselves in a situation with their spouse and the mother of their children where she's the breadwinner, she makes more, and then guys' friends will sometimes give us slack about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Or I mean, even they just make the conscious decision that dad wants to be the stay-at-home parent. Like if we could, John would be the stay-at-home parent.
Oh, yeah, we
He would-
tried it.
He would love to, but
Yeah.
Yeah, in 2016, whenever I got out of the Marine Corps and Emily was going into the Navy, that was our whole plan is, okay, my time is done. They're not letting me stay in. You go off, I'll be stay-at-home dad. I'll try to find something to work from home, or I'll work weekends, or I'll hang out with my kids all day because I have 3 sons. It's perfect. I get to hang out with boys. I don't have to play with dolls and stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so that's fortunate where it's like you have sons, you can do that too, but if you had daughters, do you think it would be just as exciting or easy?
Oh, yeah, dude. Like, whenever we hang out with Cheyenne or Charlotte or any of the other little girls, or Zoe, my niece, love playing with unicorns and Pegasus. You're not supposed to, but I
And boys
freaking love it.
aren't supposed to like that stuff.
Yeah,
Right, yeah.
no, but they're so cool. Because we'll have arguments like, no, that's a Pegasus and a unicorn. That's not a unicorn. That's just a Pegasus. And she'll start freaking out. No, it's a unicorn.
Just blow their mind.
No, it's not Zoe. Calm down, baby.
Yep. All right. Well, so we'll focus on dad stuff then, because we kind of
We veered that way.
Yeah. That's all right. So, what other dad stereotypes do we have?
Oh.
So they're not supposed to be very involved, very present.
Yeah, you have to be the disciplinarian every time.
Oh,
You
yeah.
can't be the soft parent.
You always have to be the bad guy.
Yeah.
Well,
not in our
okay.
house.
So I have a question about that. Why? Because I don't think women feel that way. I don't think we think that when we have to punish or like discipline a kid that we're the bad guy. But I'm also not a parent, so I don't know.
Yeah, I think it comes from just, I wouldn't say evolutionary, but men are usually the alpha. So it's like, okay, the big dude in the house is coming home. He's the one that you're really scared of. It's more effective against the children because they're like, okay, well, mom's
I don't
the boss,
fear mom.
but dad's big. Dad's the one that picks up the heavy things and throws things around and has the big, mean, loud, deep voice. And so that's the one to get scared of whenever he's coming after you. It's, okay, you better listen now or something real bad's going to happen.
Yeah.
When mom does it, it usually doesn't get to a physically violent point.
And I
When
think
dad
that's
does it, it can
typical.
get there real quick.
Like that's a typical dichotomy between parents where one is around the kids more often, and I guess when you're around somebody more often, you kind of have to think about being at a good communication level with them. So like the mom who is around the kid more often might not feel like confident about being strict, because then that in turn might make the child act certain ways around them that might be more difficult for her. So the parent who's not around as often being the bad guy,
Yeah, it doesn't
I
seem
guess
that bad.
it doesn't seem as bad.
Yeah, and we had that whenever I was in the Marine Corps because I'd be gone for months at a time. And so it was whenever I'm home, I'm the disciplinarian. But whenever Emily was home by herself with the kids, it was like, okay, I'm going to try not to make things more tense than we have to.
Yeah.
Because Dad's gone. I don't want to have to deal with Mr. Bratty Brat and a new baby
Yeah.
while Dad's not here.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was similar to that in our household. It was all, wait till your dad gets home, because my mom
Yeah.
had tried to discipline but we just weren't listening.
Yeah.
And so she would get fed up, and that'd be like the big boss, the ultimate. Like, well, just wait till your dad gets home.
Yeah, oh, here comes the big guy.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
isn't good.
and then your dad ended up feeling kind of like a villain.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I feel that way a lot. I felt that way yesterday. I think 3 times I had to get on to my oldest son for not listening. So first thing he did is I told him, don't take the boomerang outside. If you take the boomerang outside and you try to throw it, you're going to lose it over the fence. And then 5 minutes later, they come inside. I'm sorry. I'm like, why? Like, I took the boomerang outside. Now it's in the river behind the house. Great. All right. Well, let me hobble out there and let's go get it. And then we did that. And then I got the boomerang stuck in a tree.
It's different if dad messes up.
Right,
He
right.
can't be mad.
Yeah, well, I thought I found a good corner, and we started throwing it, and the kids are figuring it out. And I'm like, awesome, let's try a big one. And I whipped it, and it just took it, and in the tree, it's still there.
Just alley-ooped.
Couldn't get it out. It's like 16 feet in the air,
Good job.
and I can't climb right now. So
So
Yeah.
then, as a parent, how have your children used that like experience against you? being that you sometimes have to be more often than not have to be the bad guy.
Oh, dude, they'll do the whole well, that's not what Daddy said kind of thing. As they'll come in, Mommy, can I go do this? And Mom will say no, and then they'll come over and ask me, Daddy, Dad,
Yeah.
I want to do this. I'm like, that sounds like an awesome idea. And I start getting yelled at by my wife, and it's, all right, well, hon, look, it's a good manly thing for him to learn how to do. He's got to stand, like, fights in school. Anthony got in his first school fight whenever he was in kindergarten. He got in a fight on a school bus with a kid that was 2 years older than him. Emily was pissed. I was psyched because Anthony whooped the crap out of a kid 2 years older than him that was being a bully. Mm-hmm. I just thought it was the best thing ever. Like this.
So you said manly things for him to learn. What are some of those manly things you're trying to teach your kids?
Like if you mess up, you have to suffer the consequences of it. You don't go out and just buy a new one. Like
right, but is that manly or is that responsible?
It's responsible, but a lot of the time, like we were saying with stereotypes, the man has to be responsible for an entire household whenever you get older.
Yeah.
You got to be able to be mom and dad when the time calls for it. You have to be able to bring in all the money, work the long hours, and then come home and still parent. Mm-hmm. And so you need to learn, okay, if I mess up, there's an actual consequence to everything. Every little thing that I do has a consequence that comes with it.
Yep, and being able to accept when those problems come your way, but also like to learn how to foresee them. This kid is bigger than me. He very well may whoop the crap out of me. Is it worth it?
Might not be. What? If I don't stand up now, I'm going to get the crap beat out of me for the rest of the year. Yeah, I need to go ahead and take the ass whooping now.
Yeah, and a lot of times, like I got a lot of fights in middle school and high school, and almost all of them were for the same two reasons. One, somebody was being a little dickhead to me, and I wasn't going to take that smack talk. And two, somebody was messing with a friend of mine, and they weren't obviously going to step up and do anything, and I wasn't going to sit there and like watch my friend get harassed.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So those are the two reasons. And every time I got into a fight, and I told my mom why, she was like, okay.
Yeah,
because they never did it for the wrong reasons. Now, if Anthony had picked a fight, got into a fight, and then also proceeded
he's going
to
to
whoop
get
that
fight
kid,
when he gets home too.
Right. Yeah.
Yes, then it's more of like then you have to discipline them differently. But
have a conversation and have a physical punishment. But yeah, no, whenever I was a kid, or whenever I was in high school, you remember Brandon Turner? He was a year ahead of us.
Yeah.
That was Emily's most recent ex from middle school. Well, he tried to make a move on her, and I didn't like it. And Emily told me right before she knew we were having a class together. So
I
guess that brings
got
another one.
into the middle of class.
Did you think that Emily couldn't handle his behavior alone without your involvement?
Oh no, this is he's on the football team, bigger guy, but I was rugby team and bigger than him. Mm-hmm. And
you felt like you had to prove something?
Yeah, it's okay. Well, man, you stepped somewhere you shouldn't have stepped. You crossed the line, so now we had to deal with this physically.
But
so
why
I
did
told him that?
But is that
So
did
why?
it have to? Did it have
to get physical?
Yeah.
If
he was approaching your wife, your
it had to get physical.
And that is a stereotype. But that's how. Let's go outside and settle this like men.
See, and if that happened to women, I think our response is either passive aggressive or thinking about high school, I guess it'd be passive aggressive, like rumor spreading.
Oh yeah.
Flirting with their guy. What else?
Well, see, that's one of the
And sometimes direct confrontation. There are a few times I had to
It gets to that
directly
limit.
confront and be like, what is your malfunction?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you're also probably like you're tall compared to most women. So you're probably looking down like, what's up, bitch?
No, but I was very quiet and reserved in high school. Like I didn't have a whole lot of confidence.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, so I think it's rare that women go to physical involvement. I won't even say violence, but like just physical involvement in any
Against
kind of
other women.
disagreement with that. Yeah.
Yeah. See, because if you go to look at against other men, women are much quicker to hit a dude than a dude is to hit a chick. And
Absolutely.
I think that's just because of the consequences thing. So like if a chick hits a dude, all right, 1 out of 10, that might hurt at a 1 or a 2. Mm-hmm. If a dude hits a chick, that's a 10. Like you're going to destroy her.
I mean, the amount of damage that most women can do to a man is
and I
just
think
biologically.
Yeah, and I think women know that you're not going to hit them back.
Yeah.
Which is totally shitty of women.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Can we explore that?
If you hit me,
Yeah.
nothing's going to happen. If I hit you, I'm going to jail.
Yeah, absolutely. And and all that has to happen. And women bruise easier. We're a little more fragile.
Yeah.
Which
Lower bone density.
hate saying that, but we are a little more fragile than men. And so all that has to happen is I have to punch you, and if you punch me back, if I call the police, they're not caring that I ever punched you. They don't care.
No, especially not this region of
they'll
the
come up, I'm
States.
sorry, sweetheart. Did she hurt your little nose?
Yeah,
You broke her face.
Yeah, so they'll go in on the guy for being a wuss or, not man enough to walk away.
I'm a grown little man.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, just the idea that men aren't easily accepted as being a victim.
Yeah.
In any situations, like, can the men really be a victim? It's like, or like, a woman can be easily. I've experienced it where a woman is the manipulative one in a dichotomy, and when you kind of sit back and realize that, and maybe you explain that to somebody else, like later they're like, "You let your girlfriend be manipulative to you?" And I'm like,
yeah. Oh, I have to go ask my wife.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Or it's like the idea that I can't or another man can't be a victim of mental abuse or a controlling spouse, or even one that's physically violent, like
or sexually
violent.
Oh yeah.
You're gonna do this or else, and then that's like,
well, and the manipulation and sexual stuff is insulting your manhood. Oh, you're not man enough. Oh, you can't get it up, or you can't.
Yeah.
All those things. And so when women try to sexually abuse a man, it is very mental as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because we can't always
that'll
physically
do that shit.
overpower.
Yep.
Yeah.
But back to the. What
We're
was
all
it?
over the place. Yeah.
yeah, it's okay.
I'm not going back that far. I'm not going back on topic. I'm staying near it. But like with the women that do the passive aggressive stuff whenever they get into an argument and whatnot, that's one of the reasons you don't see guys doing that a lot. Is because we know, okay, if I talk enough crap, this is going to get to a physical place, and someone's going to have some serious injuries out of it. So guys have to really watch what they say to each other. Women will get into verbal altercations, and they'll just bring up the nastiest crap they can think of because they know
they're ready for it.
If it's another woman, okay, I might lose some hair. I'm going to get some scratches. I'm going to get some bruises, but nothing
get screamed at.
terrible is going to happen.
Yeah.
Dudes get into fights with each other, that can end in death.
Yeah.
It's like, we got to really watch what we say to each other.
Yeah.
So it gets violent quick. We got these big old clubs on the end of our hands, or end of our arms.
Yeah. But I also think women are way less confrontational.
Oh yeah, definitely.
We're way
Women
more passive.
try to keep society together. Mm-hmm. Let's not let all this tear down into anarchy. Let's keep everything cool while dudes are, it's kind of stereotypical, but dudes just kind of want Mad Max out there.
Yeah, but the thing about men is like you guys will argue about something, get in a fight, and then it's done. Whether it's a physical fight or a verbal fight, then it's done.
Typically, yeah, because you leave. For a man, it is expected that you leave your business where it ends. So if you two have some things to say, or if you're going to throw hands, but that's where it ends.
Especially if it does come to throwing hands.
Yeah, you either agree to disagree, you walk away from it, and it doesn't become a thing anymore. You said your piece. You know what each other feel and think, and that's the end of it. Or if it's violent because like you two are just butting heads and you throw hands again, that's going to be the end of it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we say that, but not always, right?
Yeah,
I'm sure there's issues with you and somebody else in your life.
Because again, this is all assuming that this is how they're going to act.
Yeah, that you're still bothered by. Like you've had your discussion, you've had your argument, and it still hurts. It still bothers you. Right?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So it's not just women that hold on to things.
No. But a lot of the time, if it's two dudes going against each other, it'll be over whenever the punches are thrown, unless the guy that lost is just a beta.
Right.
If he can't accept, okay, I lost, I must have been wrong, I said the wrong things to the wrong guys, I need to grow from it. If he doesn't do those things right there and accept that dude is alpha over him, then he's done.
So and that's kind of why it ends. It doesn't so much end there because it's either because two of them have a level enough head to agree to disagree and walk away, or understand that when the fists are done, that's what's done. But if it doesn't really end there, and one of them decides they wanted to continue to like poke at it and still be like cause a drama point or continue to argue about it, well then they at their manhood are checked on it.
Yeah.
Because now you are not acting up to the expectations that you have.
It's got to be a bottomed out man.
Yeah, you've said your piece on it and you're still going on about it. What is wrong with you? Why are you acting like this?
Either he didn't fight a good fight, or like if the dude just got destroyed and the levels of serotonin that you need to get back into a fight quickly, you have to be really sure of yourself or didn't start out with much anyway.
Okay, so I think that leads us into a good topic about feelings then, because what you guys are talking about right now is anger and it being angry with another guy. Well, what if they hurt you? They like your
Emotionally?
feelings are hurt.
Oh, I think it goes to hands a lot faster.
You think
Well,
so?
When it gets to hurt feelings, depending on
It
who
depends.
it
It
is.
depends on the person who's receiving or the one who's feeling the emotion, right?
Yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
talking about like a stranger, but like a brother, a good friend.
Oh yeah, no, it'll very rarely go to hands with me then.
Yeah, no, if it's loved ones, it's really then complicated. Because
Like for me and Wallace to get into a fist fight, like I've known you for what,
Years.
13 years? Yeah. If to get us in a fist fight, you have to do something heinous.
Yeah,
Some
and-
betrayal level stuff.
But usually something of that gravity is what Melissa's kind of talking about.
Yeah.
You know, I have a wedding and like you're not invited for some freaking reason.
Yeah,
You're
I
like,
don't think
"Whoa,
that
man,
would even cause anything. That would be just, ow.
Yeah, that
Shit, man.
hurts because like when you're close with somebody or you have a loved one that you expect to I totally just lost my train of thought.
They'll expect you to, take your feelings into
Well,
account
yeah,
and involve you in their life.
They do something that's pretty drastic or something
Yeah.
that really kind of takes a shock factor to it, right?
Yeah, you're not invited to their birthday party. Yeah,
Yep,
get left
christenings.
out. Yeah.
If you're promised that something will, come your way from that person and then you get shut out.
Yeah.
And that stuff hurts.
So like let's take a real example. Your brother and I grew up super close together. The day I get married, like we've already talked about it, he expects to be in my wedding party some way because he has been such a huge impact on my life. And if he for whatever reason wasn't, I would expect him as of right now to be hurt by that.
Yeah.
And how would we interact with that?
Yeah,
that emotion?
That kind of thing crushes relationships.
So
Yeah.
how do you as men handle that? Because that's not a throwing fists.
Yeah.
Kind
No,
of
most of the
situation.
time we don't deal with it. Like
That's the thing,
John
we don't.
John is actually really good at this. This is one of
Yeah.
the things that, if he has an emotional issue or if something happened with a close personal friend, he knows how to talk it through.
Yes.
A lot of guys don't know how to talk it through.
Yeah.
Like if I get into an emotional issue with another dude, I'm probably not going to talk about it.
Yeah.
I'll bring it up and I'll say, "Hey man, that was shitty." And that's the end of it.
So why?
Because we aren't
Never
expected
learned how to do it.
Yeah, we aren't taught a lot of times how to talk about our problems because the idea is that we aren't allowed to have feelings and have problems like that. That we
Drop
can't-
it, man up.
Yeah, drop it, man up.
Yeah.
Get over it.
Yeah, and I know men are conditioned. You're not allowed to feel sad, and so sadness comes out as anger often. And so, a lot of the fights that because I had a lot of male friends in high school, I was like, you guys aren't mad at each other. You're just hurt by each other. Like, just talk
Yeah.
about being hurt. Like, come on. You're not actually mad.
Yeah, we don't have a natural progression to end that a lot of the time. Like we're never taught how to. So for me, whenever me and my dad got in an argument, right? We got in an argument a few years ago because I found out some stuff about him that I didn't need to know, and so my whole idea of who my dad is got crushed, and I didn't talk to him for 2 years just because I have no idea how to deal with this.
Yeah.
It just that relationship was done, and that was one of the strongest relationships in my life, and it just over in a day.
Wow.
And so, on my birthday for 2 years in a row, my dad would try to call, or he'd call my wife, and Emily would try to sneak him to talking to me. And I'd just walk away. No, I'm not dealing with this crap. And I think while I was driving trucks and I was listening to some other podcasts, it got to the point where I was, okay, I'll just call him. I gave him a call and it was, hey, I'm sorry I acted crappy. And he said, sorry I acted crappy. We never addressed what the problem was, never addressed why it hurt so bad. It's just, I'm sorry, he's sorry, problem's over.
Move on.
Yep. So we never really
And
dealt with the issue.
sometimes that is enough.
Yeah.
It would be
Oh yeah, me and my
expected
dad
at
are
some
buddies
point.
again. but-
Yeah. I mean, at some point in your life, you should have a conversation with your dad about those issues and really kind of help each other have a good understanding of
Oh yeah.
what it was. But your dad, at face value, knew my son is hurt because of things he learned.
Yeah.
And he can try all he wants to aid you in getting through that.
Yeah.
But at your point of view, you didn't really know how to, except for just let it digest. And it may have taken you 2 years. It may have taken you longer to really digest that. But again, the issue of how you talk about it and who you talk about it with or how you get over it isn't something that men are really taught to do from an early age. Even more so, I didn't have a dad growing up. I had my mom and 4 sisters.
Yeah.
So
So you should know how to talk about it more.
I feel like I do.
Well, then again, you were probably also brought up, hey, you're the man of the house. You have
Yes.
to be there for your sisters.
Yeah, nobody really taught me early on. You have to be a man, like a manly man, and not have emotions and be super fighty and stuff. I fought because no one taught me not to fight.
Yeah.
It was like that felt more natural, just like a stick up for yourself, stick up for your friends kind of deal, and that's why I got into fights. But the idea that I can't talk about my issues or certain things that like men shouldn't talk about, those never were things I learned about. So I do have better abilities to like talk my feelings out and like handle confrontations without getting into violence now, whereas when I was younger I didn't. But it also helps me like understand other people's emotions better. So like my sisters, of course, let their emotions just be out there in the open, especially especially in our home. Like when they're upset, their emotions were let out because that's where they were comfortable and safe. And so you as a young man get to observe that, and you know, this is what they're feeling, this is what this looks like. Okay, over time you learn how to help them through their problems because they just need someone to talk to.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, one of the best things my dad ever did was anytime I was just like ready to cry, it didn't have to be for any legit reason. It just felt like crying because teenage and hormones and female, you just need to cry sometimes. He would never ask me. Well, he would ask me like what's wrong, but I don't know. It was a perfectly acceptable answer for him, and he would just hold me and let me cry. And then when I was done, he was like, "Okay, you're good." Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, I've gotten used to that with Emily with the anxiety and the depression issues, and it was because whenever we first got together and the issues, because we got together whenever we were young, it's been together since then. So whenever these issues started to come up, it was, "Hun, what's wrong?" "I don't know." It's like, that doesn't make sense. I need I need something that I can fix.
Right.
Give me something. It's like, okay, well, that's upsetting me. It's like, I'm gonna go fix that, and you just
Yeah, and so
I'll be
that's something I teach to my clients in relationships is to the women. I was like, men want to fix. They want to help. That's how they've been programmed. That's how they've been raised. So it's not fair of you to say to get upset with them when their reaction is to fix things when you're upset.
Yeah.
So you have to tell them, start out with, I don't need you to fix this. I just need you to listen. Give them permission to turn that part of their brain off and just be there for you.
Yep.
But if you just come crying to them or angry to them with a problem, they just want to
We're gonna
fix.
go solve it.
Yeah.
That's why now whenever me and Emily, or I see Emily getting into one of those modes where it's, okay, you're upset about something, and it's not one of the I don't know things, it's something that's actually upsetting you. We'll start out the conversation with, okay, is this one of the things that you want me to help you fix? Is this a problem that you want me to fix by myself, or is this something you just want me to listen to?
Yeah.
And, it's just something I want you to listen to. All right, cool. That part's, I'm not going to fix anything, not going to do anything about this.
Yeah.
Let me hear it, I'll be here for you. And just, dude, that sucks the whole time.
Yeah. That's all we want.
Yeah.
We know that it sucks. Just validate us.
Just
Validate
validate
us.
as a younger man, like, and as still a bachelor even to these days, like throughout relationships that I've been in, one of the most frustrating things is to like have them be upset or mad or be feeling something, but then the expectation of me just knowing what the hell is wrong.
Yeah, that drives me nuts. You
Women,
should know
stop.
what's wrong.
Jesus.
No,
You should know. No,
men
you
are
don't.
logical in their thinking. Women are more often in their feelings, right?
Yeah.
And so
They can abstract a lot better than we can.
Yes.
We're very solid.
what is wrong? Because if you don't tell me what's wrong, I can't be sure that I know what's wrong.
Yeah, and that is such a trap that women put for men. Oh, you should know. No, there are so many things that happen in a day, in a week, that women remember and women hold on to, that it could have been something that happened days ago, that because you weren't upset in that moment, the guy has just let it go. Like, she wasn't that upset, I guess.
It's gone.
No, you cannot bring it up days, weeks, months later and be like, oh, you should know. No, it is your responsibility as a human to tell the other human when they have hurt you.
Especially if you're trying to cohabitate, like you're in a relationship with them. You're with them because you have some type of desire to be with them long term or indefinitely.
Yeah, don't put a trap on me. I love you, bitch.
Yeah. Yes.
Right?
Yeah. That is a thing that females do that I think just makes things more difficult. It sets up an argument. And I don't even know why women do that. Like, I can't remember being taught that's what you're supposed to do. I don't know.
I think the idea comes from the thing that they're upset about, that they believe I should know about, upsets them so much that it should be obvious to me why they're upset. Like,
How
I am
close
so
of attention is this guy really paying to me?
Yeah. It's
I
like, I am
guess.
so upset right now. And if he can't even think about why the hell I'm upset, is he paying attention, or does he even care about what is going on in my mind or what I'm feeling right now.
No, they're not mind readers.
No,
Yeah,
No one is a
no
mind
idea.
reader.
Despite popular opinion.
Yeah,
they're
and
not
I think
mind readers.
that same issue happens in reverse too, where because there's been times where John's been upset, and I'm just like going about my day, and I realize, oh, he's upset about something, and I'm like, what's wrong? And he was like, what do you mean, what's wrong? I'm like, God, I don't know what happened. Please tell me.
Yeah.
And
Well,
it is
see,
something that I did that I didn't realize was going to upset him or hurt his feelings or aggravate him or whatever. And so now he has to tell me, and I get the opportunity to go, oh, my bad.
Yeah, and a lot of the time with that same thing, women will they'll kind of make a show about it. Like, oh, you're gonna know I'm upset.
Slamming doors and
Yeah.
turning away.
While
and-
dude's sitting there, I'm playing on the Xbox, and all of a sudden, like, what the freaky deaky's her problem right now? Why is she mad? But with dudes, whenever we're upset and we don't want to cause a confrontation in the household, you still have to happy face it.
Yes.
Or you
just-
distance.
or you
I think a lot of
distance,
men
yeah.
distance. They'll go, and early
Yeah.
in our relationship, John would just go and do something. He wouldn't say anything's wrong. He's just like, I'm
Yep.
going to go to this store, and I'm just going to be there for you for a little while, and I need to get out of here.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, okay, weirdo.
Yeah, well, like with what was it, a couple days ago, I was going to physical therapy, and something Emily had said had upset me and drew up some other things from the past. I'm like, how is she going to get mad at this when this happened? And she thinks that she wasn't even a guilty party here. And so I was just sitting in the car fumigating and just getting pissed off. And I got out of the car, and she could tell, like, hey, what's wrong? I'm like, nothing. It's literally nothing. I don't want to talk about it because
But
we've
that's
already had the
different.
conversation.
Nothing is different than I don't want to talk about it. And
Yes.
that goes for
Yeah.
both all types of humans.
Yep.
Yes.
Nothing is not the same as I don't want to talk about it.
Oh yeah, it took about 2 seconds for it to come out.
Yeah.
But it was, no, tell me what's wrong. Okay, well, it's going to cause a fight. I don't want it to cause a fight. You got pissed off at this. I don't think it's a near as big of a deal as you think it is. Now I have to go inside to go do physical therapy. You think about it for an hour. And so while I was in there, she sent me a text. Hey, sorry, you're right. It wasn't that big of a deal. I didn't have my phone on me. I came out to the car whenever she came to grab me, and I apologized. She said, Did you get my text? And I was, no, my phone's at the house. Okay, so we both realized that we were being drama queens about it and solved it. And that's I don't think that can happen at like a stage of relationship where you'll get into the first year, 2 years, 3 years. That's one of those things
It
that
takes a lot of work to get there.
okay, we've been together 13 years. We know how we work. That's half our lives. Sorry, we're dropping this one. We're not fighting about this.
Yeah.
Not worth it.
Yeah, for sure.
So
All
let's,
right.
so let's talk about like dating expectations
dating.
because both
Yeah, I
of
have
you are married
no idea.
with kids either on the way or currently. I'm the
Yeah.
only bachelor in here.
Yeah, I get to talk about my son dating because hopefully that'll start soon because he
Oh,
turns
Lord.
10 this year.
Oh, fun.
Oh, yeah, I'm
Oh,
excited.
fun. I mean, it'll still be drastically different from anything that I currently am going through or anything that the two of you went with your significant others.
Oh, yeah.
Because your son's in a totally different generation and age is like what's available and how
Yeah.
his peers and him communicate with
Dude,
each other.
And you freaked me out because, like, what was it? What were you on?
Is that you?
Oh, yeah, it's cleaning time.
Ah.
Yeah. Kill that real quick.
You have like 7.
Yeah, dude, we have a system in our house for, the whole quarantine thing. So
I freaked
we have
you out.
cleaning time, reading time, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not you freaking me out mostly. It's the entire generation, like my own generation.
Mm-hmm.
Since I got with the woman that's my wife now, whenever we were 14 and 15.
That was 2009, 7 when you met?
2007.
You
yeah.
met? Okay, so that's a long time
Back
ago.
in the day. Mm-hmm. So we didn't have, Tinder, all that, the fun apps where it's swipe right, swipe left. I have no idea. And so now seeing people that are my age doing that, it freaks me the hell out. Because I think you need to meet somebody in person. You don't meet them on the internet and it's like, oh, here's their resume. Nope, you're not good enough. Here's your
So-
resume. Oh,
But that's the
billionaire.
thing. As an adult, it is so hard. Like you and I both met our significant others in high school.
Yeah.
And I think in college it's a little easier because
You're still physically near each other.
right. Yeah. And you're meeting a lot of people.
Yeah.
But these days, like at this age,
I'm not meeting people.
Yeah, I have no
Right.
idea how that could work. Like, if
Yeah.
I got put back in the dating world right now,
Oh,
I'd be
God, yeah.
single
Yeah.
for a while.
No, I don't know how
No
to,
idea.
I barely know how to make new friends.
Like, I don't want to meet people in a bar.
right.
People don't.
Well, yeah, and the
I don't know
whole-
where else to meet people except for Tinder, and I'm not trying to hook
Right,
up.
right.
Exactly,
And now the whole
and so then-
consent thing and the Me Too stuff, it's hard to pick
Yeah.
up people in bars and
Especially
situations
as a
like
dude
that.
right now.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you want to go pick somebody up, you better hope that they're driving or you got an Uber with a camera.
Yeah. Take a lawyer along with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's men. I feel like whenever I'm first meeting a young lady or starting to talk to her, I have to be. Over time, I learned that I had to be super upfront about what I wanted out of it,
Yeah.
what my expectations are, what I'm not willing to put up with.
Oh,
and
I
even-
would
and
run
then-
off so many people.
And I do. I have had several matches on all these dating apps because that's how I'm going to have to meet somebody because
Yeah.
between work and my like sleeping, like my weekends and stuff, I don't interact with new people.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't make new friends or meet new people that I potentially could be in a relationship with. So how do you not waste your time, I guess, for a lack of better terms? Like,
Yeah, not waste either of y'all's time.
yeah. So,
Yeah.
because if I meet somebody, if I match with someone on, let's say, Tinder, then and all they want to do is a hookup, or they just want friends with benefits, like that's not what I want.
Yeah.
I'm not going to waste my time. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
That's
but-
another thing.
best of
That
luck to
dudes
you.
are expected to be the one to be the,
Friends with benefits type.
Yeah, no, I've
yeah,
had
I just want to hook up.
in the last
Yeah.
year,
No.
I've had at least 3 that I can think of off the top of my head where matched. I immediately said, I want something long term, not friends
Yeah.
with benefits or just one night stands. And they were like, oh, really? Like, I just kind of want to sleep around. Like, nope, not me.
No.
And like that's not something normal that like men are expected to.
Yeah, which
want
I think
to
is
do.
starting to really change. Like, our generation is starting to be the ones that notice, oh, sometimes the dude wants to get cuddled. The dude doesn't want a slut or anything like that. The dude's not going to be a player. Like, all the guys,
Can't
what was
say
it?
the S word anymore.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But yeah, like guys that always say, oh, this is my girlfriend and I got a side chick. It's,
No.
you freaking idiot. Why
Yeah.
would you do that? You're going to destroy any trust that you could possibly have with someone that you actually love.
Do you think that comes with age, though?
I do, yeah.
I think it might. Like, young guys, once those hormones start coming in, it's like, okay, need to, seed the field.
Yeah.
Need to put the seed everywhere that it can grow.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever you're older, especially, me, I already have kids. I got 3 sons. I got, everything's perfect. I'm not even looking anymore most of the time. It's okay. Well, yeah, she's hot. Okay, that's over. And I'm
Yeah.
back to my wife.
Yeah.
It's, seeds have been planted, trees are grown. I'm
Yeah.
done.
Yeah, I think like college age is, you want to meet people and have experiences and, get out and do the thing. And then I think once you like get responsibilities like rent and paying your car and you're not so dependent on parents and stuff that you kind of like really start to think about what it is you want your life to look like. And so then you're graduating college and working your first job and getting into a career. And so now you're thinking more long term. And so partner versus fling.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've never-
In college, anything past college really wasn't on my mind when evaluating who my current relationship is
Yeah.
or somebody that I wanted to be in a relationship
It was
with.
just some social stuff.
It
Like,
was completely social. Like, I want to put my time and effort into somebody else's life and feel that reciprocated. That's what I wanted out of it. Whereas anything long term, like having kids together or furthering each other's careers or establishing a household where
Yeah.
we find security in one another, like those are things like, oh my god, I feel those things. Like, God, I feel like all the grays coming in, and those aren't things like in college at all, because once you're in college and you have a relationship or 2 under your belt, it's like, well, then you feel less likely to let them go because now like the clock is ticking. You're running out of time of meeting people to like potentially continue your life with, and then you end up postgraduate like myself where you don't meet new people and like you then have to resort to
yeah.
apps
Or not even clock ticking. Like you're, and this is what I encourage people who are looking for relationships to find is like people who share your interests, but more importantly, share your values. And so when you're in your higher major classes, you're with people who not only share your interest, but have the same goals that you have, like having a college education, getting a good career in that field that you're in. And so you find people that you don't want to let go of.
Yeah. Well, one of the things that I like that specifically, finding people that have the same goals. It's another issue where, guys are going to feel really threatened. Like if this female is better than him at this, he's going to feel so emasculated. And a lot of the time, women won't even, like, I'm trying to think of the right way to word it. If a guy is not making more than her, or
prospect values.
Yeah.
So
he's not going to be the provider, I'm going to have to be the provider. Or he's not going to be the breadwinner, I'm going to be the breadwinner. So I'm instantly going to be the alpha, and she's going to take a lot out of that relationship that could be his role.
So like expectations and stereotypical expectations that really show through in online dating apps and in, I guess, modern dating. How tall are you?
Yeah.
Do you look fit? Do you like dogs? Do you want to go to the beach or sometime? Or like, do you got a good job, a car, a house, all that stuff? And like, some of those you just might not have. You're not in that part of your life yet, and then you immediately get written off because the pool of people that female or that other person is looking at is just so wide and vast that
because women are the selectors,
right?
Men just have to.
Men have to build themselves up to be the best thing on the shelf possible.
And I think that even is shifting. But yes, especially when I was growing up and doing the whole thing, you were supposed to look for a guy who could take care of you, provide for you, all that kind of thing. But I think, you like, women were also expected to like handle your shit.
Yep.
Have your own stuff going on. Maybe that's the way I was raised. I don't know. But I think these days it is becoming a lot more equal. Women don't want to stay at home. They don't necessarily want to be taken care of. They want to have their own 2 feet to stand on. They want to have their own career, and they don't mind if the man makes less.
Yeah. Yeah,
that's you have to have a career. In my head, you got to have a career. You got to have a goal. Like, even if your goal is to work to the top of, I don't know, working at TJ Maxx, and you want to like be the district manager one day. Cool. You got goals at least.
Yeah.
But like working at Cece's Pizza for the rest of your life, no, I'm sorry. That's not my goal. I want to have a life where we're not living paycheck to paycheck.
Yep.
Somebody else, fine. And that may be their thing. But I think these days it's kind of shifting.
But I didn't experience
equality.
those types of expectations until like my last year in college.
Oh, dude, I remember it in high school. Like I remember,
I didn't feel those.
All of our buddies, like Joseph, right?
Yeah.
I don't think they would have gotten, or they would have gotten together and stayed together through what they did if Joseph hadn't. Okay, I'm signing up for the Marine Corps. I'm going in. I'm doing all this. It's like, okay, instant provider.
Yeah.
It's like, let's hold on tight to that guy.
Yeah, but there was also like a kid involved in that situation.
Yeah. Was the kid involved beforehand?
Yeah.
Oh, we're talking about my niece.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, Joseph's decision to do Marines was after he found out he was going to be a parent.
Maybe that was me then, because I kind of.
Well, and I wonder if there's a difference between growing up in the city, like I did, and growing up in kind of a rural area, like you guys
Hicktown.
did. Yeah.
Hicktown.
Where like generational values are different.
Yeah. I mean, it was also. Yes, I grew up in like a hick town, but my immediate family and even the extended family, a lot of my friends, I was commuting back and forth on my weekends and in my free time back and forth in the city, because that's where your family and all of our family friends were. And I was exposed to a lot of those like traditional like values out in the county and the counties, but those weren't super prevalent to me because I still had kind of like my immediate household that was the ones
city based.
Yes, was city based.
Yeah,
because my mom grew up in Philly. And then was still in Memphis for a long time, and so like she still had a lot of those same values when we were growing up.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. No, not me, man. My dad grew up on a farm. Mom grew up on a farm. Grandparents have 100 acres of prime hunting land in Illinois.
It was those values.
Country.
Yeah.
And then military. Both my parents on top of that. So that's what I had to grow up in. Was my dad's a 24-year senior chief, manly man.
Yeah.
Stayed with the Marine Corps his entire career.
Talking about expressing feelings and working through things, the military gives you a totally different
there were no feelings in my household.
I'm sure I will find out.
No, feelings aren't a thing. Like you don't have them.
No.
You focus is your
robot.
only feeling. Yeah,
you are made to do this job. That is the job you will do. If you do it well, you're going to be a better paid robot that's in charge of the other robots.
But
this is your job. Here's how you do it. Don't deviate.
Yeah, well, even in terms of survival, like you cannot be wrapped up in your feelings.
No, you got to cut that stuff off fast.
Yeah, and so especially people in the military, I won't even say men, but people in the military get trained to just shut that stuff down and lock it down.
We're good at it.
Yeah, and express feelings through physical stuff.
Yep. Well, the biggest issue with that is after the military, trying to, undo the brainwashing.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm still not through it.
Yeah.
So if it's a fight or flight situation, I never go to flight.
Yeah.
Marine Corps taught me, okay, you hit fight or flight in your brain, if that switch gets flipped, you instantly go into kill mode. You start fighting.
Yep.
Yeah.
And there's no thought process. It's okay, what can I possibly do to subdue this person as fast as possible?
Yeah.
And the whole time we're talking, that's all you're thinking. It's okay, the fight's building up, the situation is getting more intense. Got to think about how to get this person down fast.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Well, because we're kind of coming towards the end of this, I guess to sum it up, what are some things that you guys wish people in general knew about, like the pressures and the stereotypes for men, and how do you wish they were a little different?
Well, guys have feelings. Guys want to be the little spoon. Guys want to,
True facts.
Yeah, get told that, hey, it's okay. You can, if a dude cries, don't hold it against him.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's going to happen. The guy's building up everything. He's trying to hold it in. It's going to come out at some point. And, if you guys have a good relationship, or if you're dating a dude, or if you're good friends with a guy, tell him, hey, man, you can have your emotions. I'm not going to bring it up. I won't even talk about how you break down to anybody else. I won't talk about it with you. Here's 15 minutes. Go ahead, let everything out, and then clean slate it after that. Guys need to have a chance or, somewhere to do that. Because for me, it'll build up for 6 months, and then I'll just break down. And it's no fun for about a month after that in my household. Because especially if the kids see it. Kids are like, oh, dad's a punk. Now I can get away with stuff. It's like, oh, no, buddy. Now dad has to overcorrect.
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
Do you think that would be different if you didn't hold it all in and you just let it out when you needed to? Like,
I'm starting to get better at that. I think that comes with age.
Yeah.
So,
I think I'd agree. I think age and experience has a lot to do with how men who find themselves holding all their emotions in and then explosively letting it out, over time they find ways to not do that.
Yeah, and having a trusting relationship is really important. So not even like a significant other. I went, from last time I had a solid friend, I'd say. I had a couple, I had buddies in the Marine Corps that were, a couple of them were friends. We'd never hang out outside of work, though. Those are just my work friends. Last time I had actual friends was high school. Up until then, it was last year. So we went from 2011 to 2019 of just no friends, and no one ever brought it up, and I never brought it up, and I didn't realize that, okay, I need that. And now I have good friends, and, we've had conversations where I actually let emotions show. And so I'm starting to get better at, letting that happen.
Yeah. Yeah, I think because it is weird if it's not something that you've done. And so I'm sure, your kids are like, oh, what is that?
Oh, dad gets sad? Dad's not supposed to get sad.
Yeah, yeah. But I will say you do a really good job with your kids that when they are sad, you validate the hell out of that, and you're like, it's okay.
Yeah, it's all right, buddy. You can get through it.
Yeah.
And
you don't tell them to man up.
No, very rarely, unless it's a physical thing. That's the only time I'll say, hey, man up. That didn't hurt that bad.
Yeah.
Get up. It's a scratch, but you're not bleeding.
And I think we say that to even female children.
I've said that to Zoe.
Yeah. You're emotionally supportive.
Yeah.
Of your sons, unlike traditionally like the generations before us.
Yeah, the stereotype big bad dad and a wife beater.
Yeah. No, that's not how men nowadays want to be to their children. At least not the vast majority, or at least most of the ones that I've ever met. They don't want to be.
Well, now we understand like, oh, this really hurts.
Yeah.
Really hurts whenever, and now people will accept that guys have feelings because it's getting more out there, especially our generation. We're letting the feelings kind of be acknowledged. And so, I let my sons have their emotions. All right, buddy, I get it. That sucks. That hurts. Okay. But then if you fall down and scrape your knee, hey man, pop up real quick. Don't think about it. Don't let the pain set in.
Yeah.
Just keep moving. So you still got the manliness in there while you have your,
See, and I would call that resiliency, not manliness.
Yeah.
Well, I think if you can take a like metal rod through your shoulder and it's like, ugh, that just kind of hurts, and then rip it out. It's like, that's manly.
Oh, sure.
So, yeah. It's like whenever I tore my ACL.
Not a reasonable expectation.
I felt, well, hey, you say that until it happens.
Until it happens, yeah.
Like the commercial with the dude with the rod in his stomach. He's, I can sue my company now. Yeah, money. It's like, he's not freaking out.
No.
But no, whenever I tore my ACL, I'm around a bunch of manly man dudes that
like
do
big,
physical
rough, tough
labor
guys.
all day. I wasn't allowed to hurt. I think I laid on the ground for a minute while I put my leg back into place, and then I popped up, got on the bulldozer, and they rode me out of there.
Yeah, and they'd probably giving you shit like once you go back and you're healed up.
Little baby whining there. Nope, I walked on it.
That's the issue, is that men perpetuate these stereotypes.
Well, women do it to each other. Like women, a woman's biggest enemy is usually another woman.
Yeah.
A man's biggest enemy has to be another man, because we're gonna hold each other to manly standards.
Yeah,
and I don't know how to change it.
We're messing each other up.
So maybe that's the thing. Don't hold every man you meet to the same expectations. Don't hold your brother to the same things that you expect of yourself. If he's got to let his feelings out because that's what he needs to stay mentally healthy, don't give him shit about it.
Let them tears out, King.
Be supportive of him, because he's not you. He doesn't. You may not need that. If you don't need to cry your feelings out, if you don't need to express anything ever, and you're healthy about it, fine. But not everybody's like that.
Yeah.
Ladies, not every guy is super macho, into cars and football and
Dude,
hunting.
I was a mechanic for 5 years. I still don't know shit about cars.
Well, let's be real. Most women are not into. I won't say most. A lot of women aren't into cars and football and the things that we expect men to be into. I would rather have the similar interests with my partner than
Agreed.
things that I don't care about.
Yeah, I downloaded Kingdom Hearts yesterday, so me and Emily can play Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's like,
please be into video games, honey. I love them.
Yeah, I feel like the vast majority of women don't have those interests. They have raised themselves to have the interest that they expect men to like, so that they do have something mutual.
See, and
lots of girls are like, "Wait, you don't like sports?" I'm like, "No, I'm a fucking nerd, dude. I like to sit on my computer." And I'm like, "Oh."
Well, see, a lot of the time it comes down to, what's the word for it? Different personalities, like innate personalities. That's why you see women as nurses and men as mechanics and in the STEM fields. It's okay. Women like people.
Yeah.
Guys like things.
Yeah.
Yes.
Most of the time. Most of the time.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean we don't like people.
But I don't want my career to be around people.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Shoot, I was a graphic designer before going into the military. That is the ultimate introvert job.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. I put holes in the ground in the woods.
Nice.
All right, Wallace. Any last thoughts? Things you want people to know?
Give men a chance. They're not all men are out there to abuse you, harass you, and if they do something that makes you upset, don't think of it as the end of the world.
Yeah, they were probably trying to make you happy.
They probably were.
Call.
They probably were honestly trying to make you happy, and then it just failed. And you know what? If you don't let them fail, then I guess you're just again perpetuating the problem. It's like, oh my god, he can't do anything right, or he can't read my mind.
Well, you have to tell them if they have upset you, if they've made you feel uncomfortable.
We need to know how we're going to do it again.
Yeah. How is any human supposed to change their behavior if no one ever tells them that what they've done has hurt or upset them or made them feel uncomfortable? It is your responsibility to tell the other human when they have upset you.
And let us know when it happens before we forget about it.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah. I can't tell you how many times I've slept since then. I don't remember that.
Yeah, no, dude, and I got TBI and multiple, all these concussions that I've stacked up. My memory's gone.
Yeah.
It is gone, man.
Yeah.
All right.
But I'm sure this will be good to hear for somebody.
Oh yeah, maybe it'll help somebody out.
Yeah. Yeah, and this is, again, one of those that we could talk for hours about and do multiple of these on, and we probably will with different people, same people. Well, you'll be gone.
I'll be gone.
Yeah, you'll be gone. Leaving.
Tell Wallace good luck.
Leaving soon. Yeah, have fun.
Yeah.
Sailor boy.
Yeah.
Well, again, thanks for joining us, guys, and we put one out every Sunday, so stick around, pay attention. Bye.
Bye.